Welcome, folks. We are the Cracker Brothers, a new show that's going to give you the truth as we see it. I'm Cracker, and this is Brother.
I'm Todd, and this is my brother Paul.
We're pre-60s.
Yes, it's pre-60s.
Pre-60s. And tired of the way this world is going. We're going to, as my mom would say, we're going to hell in a handbasket. And things have got to change.
And that's what we want to do, is explore the possibilities of things that should happen and should have happened and things we want to happen.
Well, things have to change. I mean, some people think, oh, it'll get better. No.
No,
We've been around about 60 years and it's just been steadily.
hasn't gotten any better. Especially when you're looking at the same congressman in the Senate that's been there for 40 years.
Well, that's one story we're going to talk about, is term limits. No one should be in office for 40 years.
No.
No one, I'm
Well,
sorry.
that's why they did the president for 2 terms. It's too much power for too long. It's the same for the Senate and the Congress.
Well, yeah, it gives them too much pocket money.
Well, too much time to be making underhanded deals. I'm sure they all do it.
Yeah,
It's a problem.
I've heard some of them discuss, yeah, we need term limits, 6 years. 2 6-year terms. Well, that's 12 years. That's not much of a term.
Well, that's for Senate.
Well, Senate,
I don't think.
it
I
don't
think it
matter.
should be
They need 4-year terms. 8 years, you can't get it done, get out. But that's one thing we can talk about, is term limits. We need to get into welfare. A lot of people don't like to talk about that.
Well, there's a lot to get into in welfare.
I've made a lot of enemies talking about welfare.
I don't have a problem with unemployment. Helping somebody to move on to another job, even with training. But we've got people been on the system for 50 years, since the mid
generational welfare families.
Yeah.
And that is not what this program was designed for.
And the destroying of the nuclear family, I guess. I call it baby mamas. You can have 5 or 6 and you're getting $1,200 for each one of them because you don't have a daddy in the home.
Yep.
Needs to end.
Where we worked at in Jersey, them guys could tell you, and that's just exactly how they called it. They're baby mamas. And at that time, and that's where we come up with Cracker Brother. They called us crackers out there on the East Coast. But at that time, and them baby daddies, they told me that each kid was worth $1,297. So if they had 5 baby mamas and each one had 5 kids, and he generously split the check with the baby
They're
mama.
making more money than I've ever made.
Yeah, I've never made that kind of money. And I was looking the other day just trying to figure out what welfare cost the working man. I've never found that number. They seem to keep it.
Yeah.
The Democrats don't want you to
that
know
never
that
comes
number. I think it's worth better.
How much have the big cities cost us in the last 50 years
Well,
for welfare?
I agree. Like you said, everybody needs help sometimes.
The welfare is all of it.
Welfare needs to be cut off. Then the ones that need help, we need to develop something like, and people won't know what I'm talking about, CC cans.
Well,
We didn't have welfare.
we're not even that old, but hey, people need a check. Yeah, there's going to be a bus down here. It's going where the work is. You need to be on it.
Get you 40 hours, 60 hours a week. There's, folks, and I would be just as bad. I've got 3 kids, got a lovely wife. We've been married going on 37 years. There's been time in her life that we have qualified for welfare, food stamps, WIC, and all that stuff. We've never got on it. We have always. Yeah, if you go by the numbers, we qualify right now, but I I never got on it because I knew I could work hard enough to get through what we had going on. Welfare has took to drive the initiative out of people to do anything. Why? I got a check coming in.
Why would you? You learn to live on that.
You go around the
Beg, borrow, and steal and work for cash. And you just make it. It's not hard when you got a steady check coming in, at least.
I'm sorry, it pisses a lot of people off. The government was never designed to support its citizens in any way. I mean, you can go to disability.
Everybody says, it's government funded.
Well, I got a sister I'd like to... It's government funded. It's free. It's government funded.
Nothing free.
The funding comes out of my pocket. People that work every day, it's where the funding comes from. The government makes no money, but they sure have no problem spending it. But
yeah, there's all kinds of stuff you can get into about it.
That's welfare. We'll talk about anything.
Veterans got to fight to get.
Yeah, veterans are treated like a second-class human being in this country.
Yet we can finance whole militaries and whole other countries.
Whole other countries like the war we're
Supply
fixing to get
everything.
into. Biden's Ukraine, I heard somewhere, I don't know the exact number, don't hold me to it, is we have given the Ukraine $1.6 trillion, something like that. Somewhere in that range.
Oh, something like that, and they just finished up with the last of it, I think, or another payment of it.
That's ridiculous.
$200 or $300 million.
We have got to take care of our own people. Enough about welfare. We can talk about anything you want to talk about.
Well, we're talking about the Ukraine, aren't we, or not?
Well, yeah, we was on the Ukraine. That Biden mess. I ain't got to fix it.
Yeah. Stay tuned.
Yeah, stay tuned. That's going to get bigger and better as the days goes on. But folks, now we watch this world, as I said before, it's going to hell in a handbasket. The younger generation doesn't seem to care. They don't seem like it's want to make it their battle. Well, someone better make it their battle, or we're going to be fascist, socialism, whatever you want to call it. And I don't want that.
I don't think it can happen. It's happening now.
Yeah, it's
Socialist or leftist or whatever you want to call them.
they're priming things with this COVID. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't mean COVID doesn't exist. COVID does exist. Has existed for years. Ask Fauci. He said he's got the original Wuhan virus. That's what he said the other day on the news.
I'm sure they do in that lab. They got the whole thing right there.
But it is serious, folks. If you're unhealthy, you need to take precautions. But to shut the world down like they have was, I mean, beyond moronic.
That's obviously what they wanted to do.
Well,
It's their reset time, and
I think it
I
was
don't
a
think
trial.
half the U.S. might want them to go that way, but the other half ain't about to, and it's not going to happen.
Now, I think the election between Trump and, well, when Trump got elected, that opened everybody's eyes. I'm not a Trump man. I voted because I think if you don't vote, you'd have no right to complain. So yes, I voted, and yes, I voted for Trump.
Well, I'm a conservative is what I call myself. So.
Well, since we're talking
I'm
about
not
conservatives
not
and
only
liberals,
that.
that takes us right down to the Republican Party and the Democratic Party. I think we need to eliminate the parties.
Yeah, it's got,
Well, and that's- let's
got to be two teams, and it's not any interchange of ideas between, since actually the 50s is when they started
Well, let's make it.
dividing up teams like we
Well,
have
yeah,
now.
and they don't
It's
have
gotten
no
worse.
common ground. Back before the Democrats shot Kennedy, there was common ground between the parties. There's not anymore. And they won't let there be any common ground. So you got the Democrats taking the NASA bill, gutting it, shoving 700 pages of what they want as voting rights. Of course, I thought voting was fine, but now
What
they
is
want
that with voting rights?
I don't know. I thought they was tickled.
We got the
death.
same thing here in Arkansas as they voted into Georgia. Ours is probably even, I don't understand. How is that Jim Crow 2.0?
I don't get it.
If you don't have a driver's license or
Oh,
social
yeah,
security number, you have to. I don't care what you're doing.
And it ain't racism. But why do you have to hide? No, listen. Now, why do you have to hide the 700 pages they want inside of another bill? You're hiding something.
Well, that's how they get anything done anymore.
Well, and that's not right. That's what's costing.
That's
the
how they
taxpayer.
get all them sweetheart deals, and your pocket padded is slipping them in. I think each bill ought to stand on its own. A single item. They'll never do that.
All they say it takes too long to vote. Well, if you work more, I mean, what I tell our senators are in town more than they're in Washington.
Get your ass up there and stay there until it's done.
That's what you are. It's your civic duty. And yeah, if you gotta work your ass off for 4 years, if you get reelected again and you're there for 8 years, that's your civic duty.
And they say, oh, I want a career. Well, a career in politics should start in your city, work your way up through. You'll have a career in politics.
Yeah, but
You don't need to be in the Senate and the Congress.
not 40 years in one office. That's ridiculous.
8 to 10 is more than enough. Well, if you're in Congress, you'd be up there 12, 16 years. That's all a fella needs.
And you don't need that. That's. I'm sorry. They over. What's that? Overdone their welcome.
You know, when you keep hearing all this stuff and you seeing all the same faces up there, and it's
And nothing's getting done.
not good.
And you're blaming one phase, the same
Just
people
gets
are
worse.
blaming the other people for nothing getting done. But that's just part of the deal. We need to talk about Republican Party, Democratic Party, and then go ahead and throw lobbyists in on top of that. Eliminate the parties, make lobbyists
Should be.
high treason.
Should be against the law.
It should be.
And if you're caught, whoever taking the money and whoever giving the money need to be tried for treason.
Tried for treason and hung on the square. Now that sounds rough, but just like I always told my wife, I could cut these prisons down to where they wouldn't be overcrowded.
I'd make them have to be self-supportive.
Make them self-sufficient, and
If you don't grow it or raise it, you ain't gonna get it.
what's that old boy in Arizona, that sheriff, what was his name?
Oh,
He was overcrowded when he
He's
got,
in the desert though. but
yeah, he got
that's
the
hard to
army
know
tents
anything.
and put some barbed wire fence up, and you got three bologna sandwiches, and breakfast, lunch, and supper. Well, that's stepping on their rights. That's another thing. When you break the law, and I hope to God I don't ever wind up in jail. But someone may provoke me and that happens. That's just the way it goes. But you give up your rights. You're there for punishment. And it needs to be something bad. Our grandfather in the logging industry hired early releases from Tucker, which, if you know, Tucker was a bad place to be. Them guys, they weren't going back. They said once is all they wanted to that. And that's the way it ought to be. Do I sound like a...
That's a little harsh. But it still needs to be the bad place to be. Not like Tucker.
Yeah, not 3 hots and a cot and they get a college degree.
You need to-
Okay,
There's ways for them to be self-supportive, whether, like where I used to live in New Jersey, it was a working milk farm, and they had other things that they made and sold to try to offset cost.
Well, these prisons are all big enough. I mean, the one down there in McAllister, they
I wouldn't
wouldn't
have a prison if it didn't have enough land to set it up where it could be self-supportive.
But now we got corporate prisons. The federal government's paying, and we've taxed all their money.
Only one losing there is us.
Yeah, in a big way. I mean, it's not right, guys.
Costs more to keep one in jail than for us. Well, what did it cost? $100 and some a day? That's ridiculous.
Well, I want to say down here at our little old 500-600 person jail, it was $62 and something cents dollars a day to maintain each one, and we're not that big a deal. I think they got 500 or 600. That's a lot of money out of my pocket.
Time to put them boys to work.
We need to understand. Oh, let's talk about taxes. Where's all this tax? The fuel tax.
That's a lot of money.
People don't realize.
What is it? 50 cents a gallon or something just for the tax?
Well, just think about what Arkansas uses in gallons. Where is this money going? I know hammers are $200, but where's the rest of this money going? Come on, guys, wake up. That's what we're trying to do. It's aggravating that we've got a bunch of sheep, wussies sitting out there that
Smartest people in the world, supposedly, and they can't they can't balance a checkbook evidently in Washington, D.C.
yeah, if I run my checkbook in the red very long, what's going to happen to me? I'm going to be sitting in jail.
I want to hear somebody, a plan to pay off the deficit. An actual plan. With what we're bringing in now.
Which can be
Whether
done.
we have to cut everybody else off or whatever we have to do, I want to see a plan.
Well, that's something else we can talk about.
We should not be in debt.
Foreign aid. We should not be giving any foreign aid out, period, till we are debt free. We've taken care of our vets, our homeless.
Yeah, gee, look at California out there. Beautiful.
Are they still
More taxes than anywhere, more sales tax and everything. Look what they got. It's just,
Well, everybody griped about insurance. I don't know what'll fix the insurance. I think we need something similar to Canada. I know some people in Canada that really like their insurance. People say, oh, it's not worth nothing. Well, they seem to like it. But look at it this way. The entire population of Canada is less than what's in the state of California.
what are they, like 18 million or something?
And everybody in Canada has a retirement. Everybody has health insurance. And they do it fairly easy. Of course, they're having a problem with their government too. But that's where we, the people, have let it go too long. But we're new to this, and I know people are going to say how they don't know what to do. We probably don't. Not as far as making a video or something. But yeah, as far as
I
living
know
live.
a lot of people would like what we're talking about and how we're doing it. But they were not educated enough for some, but we'll still try to cover the bases.
Speaking
Give
of
you
it,
an opinion. If not, you can take it from there. Run with it.
we can discuss.
Give us an opinion.
Yeah, we can discuss forgiving student loans. Let's go there for a second.
I don't need to do that.
Why? Well, if we're going to forgive all the student loans, I borrowed. We was $8,000 shy.
Oh, you want to get yours paid
$1
off?
million to buy my farm.
No, that was to
I want that repaid.
upgrade your chicken house.
Yeah, I want that paid back to me. I mean, that's the same.